What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Diesel Dog video. Now, coming off the heels of a broken manifold, bolt, stud, job, drill out deal we had last week, thought we could have a little fun with the Jeep tonight. I got some lighting upgrades here for the fog lights sent to me that we could try out. If you've been following me for a while, you know I like my LED lights. Diesel Dog don't see too good at night anymore, so got some fogs we can throw on here, something a little different. They're the ambers. I'm going to line them up here. We'll check them out and we'll show you what we got to do to get these things installed. And then we'll shut the lights off and see how bright these things actually are. So here's what we're working with tonight. Got some fog lights here. Nice, simple, streamlined design. I mean, these things were probably good back in 2001 when this Jeep came out, but they're big and bulky, taking up a lot of space, not very bright. It's time to bring this thing up to 2025 specifications here. Eventually, maybe we'll do some LED lights in the actual headlights, but for now, we can upgrade these fog lights, get a nice modern feel to it. Side note, my boy calls these bolts blueberries, which is hilarious because they do look like blueberries. So here's how your light's going to be set up here. You've actually got like they call it a daylight, I think. It's a very dim light you can run with your markers. And then you've got another wire. It's a 3-wire setup, another wire for your actual spotlights. So we've got a connector to wire in on that one side, and then they'll plug right in. Then if we ever remove our bumper or change anything out, you can just unplug it. You don't have to undo a bunch of wiring or anything. Makes it nice and plug and play, except you got to kind of wire it in there. They do come with these covers, so you don't have to run with them just straight like that. If you want to cover them up, if you're just driving daily, not doing any off-road or anything. Got some covers to put on there. There's with it plugged in. So should just bolt right into our factory points there. I also want to take, I've seen people call them the jugs, the ends. The Jeeps look so much cleaner when those are removed and you've just got a nice little more streamlined bumper. So I'm thinking along with putting these lights on, we're going to take these bumper pieces off and kind of change the look of our front end here. Get our first one out of here. First things first, I'm going to unplug this bad boy. And I think we got some 1/2-inch nuts to, there we go. Yeah. Loosen these things and snag it right off. Yeah. Yep. Save that if we ever need these in the future. At least we'll have them. All right, we'll go ahead and stick our light in here first. Already looking like that's cleaning up that front end a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot of Jeep people that prefer the round lights, but I'm not really a Jeep person. I'm all right with some upgrades. All right. Line that bad boy up, tighten her up. All right. Sweet. All right, so it looks like we got a black wire maybe and a blue wire. I don't know, I'm colorblind. Just confirming our blue wire is power. So on our connector, we've got black, yellow, and red. So I'm just going to plug this in. I know black is our ground, so I'm going to stick that in there. Let's figure out which is which. Oh, so there's our like daylight light there, right? So that means yellow is daylight. Red. Holy cow, that's bright. Oh my gosh, that blinded me. So red and black are going to be our spotlight. I think I'm only going to run spotlight. I don't really need the daytime. I'm only going to wire in the 2-wire. I thought about splicing the yellow up into our marker here and having both, but I'm not too worried about that. You saw what it looks like. If you want to do that, go right ahead. I'm only worried about spotlights on this guy. All right, so we're going to wire in our new connector here. Need a little more wire there. All right. Yellow, we're just going to tape down there. Save it for later if we want to put that in down the road. So I'm going to try to cut the factory connector back a little bit, save some wire there. You don't want to cut it flush because someday you may want to wire that back in. So we're going to keep that like that. Strip these out a little bit. Love these snap-on wire stripper crimpers. I've had quite a few styles over the years, and these little guys right here are my favorite by far. I want to get the 90-degree ones. I've been thinking about it. And then actually today, someone at work asked me if I had a pair of those 90-degree stripper crimpers. And I was like, no, I don't. But it reminds me that I do want some. That should be good. Let's plug it in and test it out before we heat shrink. Holy cow. That thing is bright. I mean, that is way brighter than the stock. Never ran. I mean, look, you can't even see the stock one lit up. Look at that. We're ready for Baja. Quick heat shrink job on here. I always use there's like a, this is my butane soldering gun, but it's got a open attachment that I use for heat shrink. Just for like straight heat. I've been using this thing for years. I don't recommend putting straight flame on your heat shrink stuff. You should use some kind of butane torch, where you can throw heat at it from a little ways away or something like this. Throw a little tape on her. Tuck her up in there. We're going to throw a zip tie on there, but leave her like that for now. Sweet. Now we can do the other side. Both lights thrown on there, wired in, ready to go. Man, those things just look legit on there. This is kind of the style of light you see everyone running. A lot of people running them on pods, like up on either side of the A-pillar there. I thought about getting some mounts and wiring them in up there. But ultimately I decided I'd rather keep it cleaner, just mount them down here. Then I don't have anything going on up there yet. And this works out pretty good right here. I like the way this looks. So I want to take these side pieces off, and then we'll check out our front end, put the lights on, see what kind of transformation we got going on our front end of our Jeep. These things are super simple to get off. Assuming these bolts come out, but they're Torx there, so I'm gonna figure out which size we need there. See if my little dinky quarter wrencher will take these off. Got one moving. Probably gotta tighten those lights up a little bit. Oh man, this one's getting pretty crunchy. It's on the bottom, so this is where all the crud and stuff's going to be accumulating over the years. I'm sure these things have never been apart. These just slide right out. Sweet. Put our bolts back in there. If we ever sell this thing, probably go back to stock. Sweet. That looks better already. Dude, that looks so much tougher. That's crazy. What a difference that makes. That you just like straight ahead, you just see tire. That just looks more off-roady Jeepish with those things off. And those lights on there. Damn. Should have done this right off the bat. All right, let's check these bad boys out. Let's see how bright they are. I got the overhead LED lights off, so darken it up here in a little bit. Holy cow. Holy cow, those are bright. I don't know about the ambers at night, how they compare to like actual. Man, that thing looks tough. Need some black wheels. Those wheels got to go here soon. But I mean, new lightage. If we get a winch in there, this thing's for sure gonna start looking like a Jeep instead of Grandma Jeep. I'm digging these lights, man. Holy cow, those are bright. Heck yeah. Went ahead and threw the covers on there so you can see what that looks like. I mean, that looks pretty sweet. So if you're everyday driving this thing, you're not off-roading all the time. You don't want rock chips being thrown up at these nice lights and cracking the lenses and all that. Throw these covers on there. Then when it's time to go hit the mud, go off-roading or doing whatever, you take the covers off. I didn't have that completely snapped on. It'll snap on. I just kind of had laying on there. But yeah, snag them off. Put those in your cap so you don't lose them. And you're good to go. You got all the light in the world you need right there. So that is pretty snazzy. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the new lighting upgrade on the TJ. I'm digging it. I'm enjoying this new look here. I think with the jugs off, the jugs feel hilarious. Saying the bumper jugs. With the ends off there, the little bumper deals, that thing is looking pretty tough. What a transformation just something little like that makes. It's fun. Just having fun. We're not drilling out manifold bolts tonight. We're having fun. I enjoy this. I think the only thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to get like some Christmas tree clips, some flat Christmas tree clips, and maybe stick them in there, just kind of cover up those holes. Clean it up a little bit, continue the cleanliness of the front end, you know what I mean? Really want to get a winch on this thing at some point, but that'll be down the road this summer sometime maybe. Find a cheap Harbor Freight winch, throw it on there just so we look like a actual Jeep. I don't know. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the new front end. Do you guys take those things off too? Do you run ambers? Do you want these lights? Link will be down in the description, obviously. Go click the link and check them out, and if something you want, order them up. So I'll see you guys in the next video.